Hello everyone and welcome to the 8 Steps to Financial Freedom webclass. I'm extremely honored that I have the opportunity to teach you what's worked for me as well as thousands of students to create full financial freedom. Freedom in time and freedom in money. So listen, we have a lot to get through right now, so let's get going. Now, some of you already know that my family went through not one but 2 bankruptcies. You see, making money was never a problem, but each time something seemed to go wrong. The biggest lesson for us is probably one of the largest misconceptions that I believe 95% of people share, and it's this: that making money is really all that's needed to win money. Well, that's what I thought, but you know what? I was wrong. What I found out was that making money is just one part of the equation, and that's actually the easy part. What comes next is the hard part. I found out also that keeping the money is a whole other part of the equation, and that creating time and money and freedom, and I repeat, freedom, is yet another different part altogether. You know, a lot of people will strive their whole life, their whole 20, 30, 40 years to try and make a ton of money, and hopefully they get rich. And that's great. And I honor those people who go for that, except for one tiny little problem. What if you don't make it? You know, statistically, there's really only 5% chance that you're ever going to get into the highest income bracket, and only a 1% chance you're ever going to get what most people would term rich. And even if you do earn a fortune, listen closely now, as you might still be required to work 10, 12 hours per day just to keep that income and that lifestyle that you created. And you know what? To me, that is not winning the money game. This is actually being a slave, a rich slave, but still a slave. To truly win the money game, you need to become free, financially free, because once you are free, you have a real choice of what to do with what life you've created. And that is the key, to have choice. And this is what most people don't realize. This is important, so please listen. That the rich and free are different. They are different, and the strategies to get into each are very different from each other. And this is absolutely critical that you understand this. In short, if you want to be free, we have to go directly to free and not rich, but free first. We need to put all our energy and attention and our strategies on the freedom part first. Then, after we have become fully financially free, after we have won the money game, and after that, then we never have to work again. And after we have never have to worry about money again, then and only then can we add an entirely new goal to be rich. I hope you understand this, because if you do, you just change your financial life forever. Bottom line, if you do what I'm going to teach you to do, it's not going to take you 40 or 30 or even 20 years to win the money game. With the right strategy and the right coaching, you can actually become fully financially free in only 5 years or less. For some of you, 3 years or less. And for some, believe it or not, in 1 year. How good is that? All right, so let's go. Let's learn how to get free. My favorite topic. Here we go. I want to introduce you to something that I call Freedom First Formula. It actually consists of 8 critical elements for becoming financially free at lightning speed. Every single one of these steps has to be in place, or you know, at the end, you're going to have problems. Unless you complete this 3-part web class, you won't get the full picture of these steps. Your goal is to learn how to become finally financially free. And the best thing you can do right now for your future freedom is to commit to completing this course all together, all 3 parts. Also, I want to encourage you to write something down, write notes throughout the whole thing. Take as many notes as possible. Don't miss a single step that I'm teaching you this 3 classes. Here we go. Step 1. You have to have a goal and a plan to achieve that goal. The first thing you must have is clarity. You need to have a clear objective, and that's a clear plan of action. In short, how much money do you really need in order to be financially free? That's the number exactly for you. That's your financial free number. I'm not talking about how much you need in net worth or how much you need in income. I'm talking about how much you need in earning, in passive income without you working. In fact, the very definition of financial freedom is having passive income to live on your lifestyle. So, how much money will you make per year, or you need per year, for you to live a lifestyle that you desire? Knowing this number gives you clarity, gives you a goal, gives you a specific objective as to what you're going to need to be earning without working in order for you to be free. Now, as many of you know, I have worked with thousands of students worldwide in my seminars, and I love asking the question, what's your financial freedom plan? And guess what? 95% of every single person I've ever asked has no answer. Why? Because they have no plan. What that usually means is when it comes to achieving anything, no plan usually means there's no ways that you're going to achieve it. Remember, you signed up for this class. I asked you if you've ever noticed why most people seem to struggle financially. Well, now you know. People don't get what they want because they don't know what they want. For you, that changes today. First, to find out how much money you need to be financially free, you need to know how much your desired lifestyle will cost. So, in your worksheet right now that we gave you as a download, I want you to write down the total amount of money you need to earn per year to maintain your current lifestyle. It's just an estimate, so don't worry too much. You just want to estimate how much you need per month to survive. Go ahead right now and do that. I'll wait a moment for you. Just write that number down right now. Once you've done that, you're going to add 50% to that figure to account for inflation and taxes. That's it. This is your financial number. This is how much passive income that you need on a monthly basis to be completely financially free. Look at that number again. It doesn't seem that out of reach, does it? That's the point. We want to break it down into these achievable chunks. Looks like something that you could reasonably achieve with the resources that you have right now. You see, what changed is you now have something beautiful, and that is called clarity. Step number 2, you've got to spend less than you earn. Bottom line, if you want to have money later, guess what? You're going to have to start accumulating it right now. You can't accumulate it if you don't keep any of it. And so having money is kind of like having little soldiers. In this case, your soldiers are like freedom fighters. If you get rid of all your soldiers, i.e. your money, you have no one working for you and no one fighting for you. So you must keep them as best as you possibly can. Let me tell you, the oldest wealth rule in existence is you've got to spend less than you earn. Let me repeat that so you ingrain it into your head. Spend less than you earn. So becoming aware of exactly how much you spend each month compared to what you earn is absolutely vitally critical to your freedom, or your future freedom, financial freedom as well. And you know what? Once you figure it out how and where you spend your money, you can accelerate your passive financial freedom with just one little action. Would you like to know what it is? Here it is. By eliminating or at least decreasing unnecessary expenses. You know, rich people think long-term, and poor and broke people always think short-term and immediate gratification. Rich people actually have one eye in the present and one eye on the future. Broke people, well, they usually have both eyes in the present and are completely blind to the future. A lot of people operate under the assumption that it's okay to spend all the money you have now because either A, I think I need it, or B, eventually I'll be able to make a lot more. Well, you know what? Assumptions like these are why most people are broke and will be broke forever. So even if you do earn more money, we'll still be broke. Why is that? Because we are creatures of habit. If we believe it's okay to spend all the money now, then we believe it will be okay to spend more money in the future. So bottom line, it's common sense. You must live within your means, meaning you simply cannot spend more money than you earn. And if you ever want to be free, yes, that might affect your current lifestyle. Maybe your house that you live in now, or maybe the type of car that you drive, or maybe your clothes, or that you wear. These things might have to change. And how often you go eat out, or even where you go eat. But if you want to be free anytime soon, your habit will have to be that no matter how much or how little the number is, you simply spend less than you earn. And you know it's quite amazing. When I go to my students and when I ask them specifically about their financial details and how much they earn, we find together that we could actually delete or decrease without one less drop in happiness. Like it's nothing to them. They wouldn't even notice that they've lost those things. So they're just as happy. Life is just as good. So this is something we'll hopefully be able to work with and clear this for your future. Let's get to step 3. Here it is. Step 3 is manage your money, or it is going to manage you. Would you like to know the number one difference between financially free and poor people? Free people are good money managers, and poor people are usually poor if they're poor money managers. Those two normally go hand in hand. If you aren't able to be financially free, then most likely you're probably not managing your money well enough. You know, in my system, managing your money means splitting up your money into different accounts for different usages. Can you imagine a soccer game or football game where every single player on the field is playing just one position, where you have everyone playing either goalkeeper or everyone playing striker or everyone playing just defenders? Is there any hope in hell that this team is going to win? Absolutely no ways. 80% of the field is completely left uncovered. Conversely, if there are 11 players, which there are, on the field, and each has a different position, which they do, and a different role, then that team is going to win or has a chance of winning. But the other way, they've got no chance. The same goes for your money. Your money cannot all be playing one position on the field. It cannot all be in one bank account, or it's going to be impossible to win the money game. That's why we need to split up your money into different accounts with different usages for each account. Who wants to know how? All right, here it is. The simplest, easiest, most effective money management method in the world. You're going to want to write this down. So make sure you've got a pen and paper with you right now. So first account is 10% of your money needs to go into an account called Financial Freedom Account, or what we call your FFA. This is capital not to be spent, only to be saved and invested to create passive income. These are your frontline freedom fighters. This is your investment income. Or when you go into the stock market or property or bonds, and you're going to get interest from that. And to create and buy that, that's what this money is for. Okay, you only use it for that. Passive business income streams. Does that make sense? When do you spend this money? Never. You never, ever allowed to spend this money. You never spend your capital or destroy your soldiers. Only the interest and dividends and earnings out of that can you use, right? So next account is called our long-term saving for spending, and 10% of your money every month goes into that. That's LTSS, long-term saving for spending. This is for major expenditures, okay, that you're saving up for. It could be things like your house, or deposit for your house, or a car, or major vacation, or paying down a mortgage, or clearing off some debts. But be careful, we don't want to focus too much on debt, because what you focus on expands. So we'll talk about this in later trainings, exactly what to do there. The next account and third account is called our education fund. So 10% of your monthly money or your account needs to be going to education every single month. Remember this, your money will only grow to the extent that you do. And I'll go into this a lot more detail later, as I say. But if you're not learning the ways to grow your wealth and money and structure your investments, trust me, you'll find some other way to squander that money. So you may be thinking that investment sounds like a lot, but I'm telling you, if you're not spending on this, that money's going to be spent somewhere else. If you think education is expensive, ladies and gentlemen, try ignorance. Our next account is called our necessities account. So we put 55% of all our monies into this every single month. And this, you're going to need this account to cover your expenses. Things like your mortgage and your rent and groceries, your utilities, gas, petrol, your car insurance, all these things that you have to cover every single month. Now, I know what you might be thinking right now. Most people who watch this for the first time and hear about this money management system think this. You're going 55% in your head. You're thinking 55%, that can't be enough. Well, I have one word for you. Simplify. You'd be surprised how much money you spend on stuff you never ever use to impress people you don't even like. Okay. Our next account is called our play account. That's right, I said play. 10% of your money needs to go in this every single month. You need another account for short-term pleasure, a place where you can have that immediate gratification and you have somewhere to take it from. You have to spend this money every single month. Now, for some of you, that is already freaking you out. Okay? For some of you, that's fine. You can do it in a few days. Some people really struggle to do this. They're in their head, they're like, I have the money and now I have to spend it. Why do I have to do this? Listen, here's the thing. You have to train yourself to spend this money, to do what rich people do, to practice what rich people do, to feel good the same way that rich people feel good about spending money in certain ways. Life is about living, ladies and gentlemen, and you need to start living. What's the point of having all this money in the world and you never, ever, ever, ever really enjoy it? Now, at our live trainings, like the Millionaire Mind Intensive, I'll tell you something. I don't know what happens, but when people that we work with use this money management system, miracles begin to occur for them. Now, I don't blame you for calling bullshit on this because it sounds quite hard to believe, but I've seen it happen all over the world. I've read the letters, and I sometimes find it hard to believe myself, but it's true. Bottom line, if you don't manage your money will manage you. And that, my friends, is not the way to freedom. It is the sure way to disaster. So now that you have learned how to design a plan, your very own plan that will lead you to true freedom, I would love to hear your thoughts and the biggest takeaways from this section in the comments section. So go ahead and do that now. And just one last thing. If you've been paying attention, there's just one small but very essential piece missing in this system. And if you want to find out what it is, you're going to have to come back for part 2 of the class. I promise you, it is by far the most important piece of the system. I'm looking forward to sharing with you everything in our second web class.